All right, GM Worldwide Radio, we are back here with Unfiltered, and we got the big homie, Big Just in the house with me, Jay Skyline, and James, and we got to hit the interview for our first producer of the year. We usually only have rappers on the show, but this man, he runs the city's production-wise. He might as well be here as a rapper because he likes to fuck up the game like a rapper. So first and foremost, introduce yourself, let them know where you're from and how you what you want to know about yourself before we get in the interview.
Well, for those that don't know, it's your boy Big Just, coming straight from the north side. And you know, I'm one of Pittsburgh's most talked about producers right now.
All right. So again, off the air we was talking, the big reason I wanted him in here is because even before I knew about him, I knew about the list. And as soon as I found out that you was the person behind the list, I'm like, oh, you got to come in because it was a lot of problems. So outside of the people from the north that you was cool with, what made you put the people from the rest of the city on the list that you put in and didn't put in?
Well, for the most part, I felt like that whenever people would have conversations about, you know, who does music in Pittsburgh, who raps in Pittsburgh, or who is who in Pittsburgh, that those are the names that are talked about the most. Like, I didn't purposely leave people out and, you know what I mean, stuff like that, like people thought I did. I just, in my mind, whenever I'm involved in these conversations, these are the names that I hear. It wasn't nothing, it wasn't no favoritism either, because a lot of people thought that, you know, I've done business with everybody on that poster, which was not true.
Okay.
Not true.
You're the people that from all corners of Pittsburgh that you respect.
What I thought was from all corners, but apparently everybody, oh, you missed such and such, you put such and such.
Oh, that's what happens, man. Like people, again, we do our rap jury here. At the end of the year, we're gonna have our top 10 rap or albums from Pittsburgh, and they will have that same feeling like, hey, if you don't give me a mixtape, album, or EP, I can't review something I never got the chance to listen to. True. And I feel like they put you in that same spot, and people complain.
I mean, it's hard to find everybody. It's like you don't do enough. I feel like a lot of people don't do enough to say, like, I'm here from Pittsburgh. Like, they don't think, or they're not really coming out or doing enough. So why should I really feel like you're relevant? I mean, because I don't know you, or you're not really promoting yourself well enough. Because a lot of people don't know how to promote, I guess.
True.
I think a lot of people try to jump straight to like iTunes and Amazon, and I feel like people don't understand that there's a reason for the mixtape game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a lot of like, cause I'm sorry, man, if you never dropped a mixtape and then I look up and I see you on iTunes, I'm not paying for something if I've never even had a sample. And this is what you gave people. You gave people a decent sample of a lot of artists. Mm-hmm. And some of these artists I never heard of before I looked at the list. I mean, obviously I got the Ascos of the world and like people like that I've always been around for a couple of years. I'm gonna do this real quick just to prove my point. Like I wasn't into Big Boy like that. I wasn't into Real Nigga, which I actually had listened to recently. So there was a couple people on here I hadn't had a chance to peep, and I feel like that's what you're supposed to do, is give people an outlet, give shout out the top, and then give the outlet to the people that are on top.
Right.
You just fucked it up, Jordan.
That's
fine. Let me see this.
But James, you got any big questions you want to hit them up with real quick?
All right, so I feel like all your production, are we getting it on? All right. No,
actually, do your question, because I'm not fucking up the whole.
All right. So, I mean, producing's a pretty, like, I feel like that's a lot of work. So how long do you usually, I mean, just a general question, like, how long does it take maybe to make one, like a roll? You feel like it's a finished beat. How long does usually that take you?
I'll say about maybe an hour or two.
Okay.
Like, cause I like to, you know, put seasoning on it and, you know, marinate it real good. All them producers like, oh, I can make beats in 5 minutes. There ain't really no real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No real sustenance behind them beats. It's just like a melody with an 808 bass line and maybe a hi-hat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't really consider that a beat. That's just some temporary, you know what I mean, melody.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you don't mind, I know a lot of producers don't want to tell out the stuff. So what's the program you use?
I use FL Studio.
Okay.
I use FL Studio. FL Studio is actually, to me, the most flexible program out there. And it's actually software. I mean, but it comes with a lot of hardware MIDI controllers that you can use with it as well. But for the most part, it's a software program, but it's very flexible, very flexible.
Okay. Would you rather be in the studio with an artist? Like, what's your progress of being with an artist, trying to create a beat with an artist, over just selling a beat to an artist?
You know, it's about getting together and bouncing ideas off of each other and just pretty much filling that artist out to see, you know what I mean, where they come from and what type of vibe they like to carry on their records and all that, and pretty much take it from there.
Okay. All right. So, saying that, who are the artists that you think you get the best vibe with when you're working with them in studio?
It's going to sound biased, but of course, Asko would be my, you know what I mean?
Hey, man, it's not biased if it's true. That's how I look at it.
I mean, again, you haven't worked with everyone to go ahead and again, we're not, just saying it's just Asko. But I mean, it's hard to you haven't worked with everyone to really say that. But Asko's so that would be your, he has the best vibe, and you'll be like, oh, we'll do this and this, and he'll be like, oh yeah, that'd be great, and then just everything is just fluid.
Right. Plus, Asko's an artist that knows what he wants. Like, to be honest with you, I kind of deal with a lot of artists that don't know what they want and they look forward to me to give them direction. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't mind giving them direction, but I like working with artists that know what they want and know what direction they're going in.
Okay, yeah, that's very important.
Very important.
No, do you kind of have a little prerequisite? If I were to come up and be like, oh, hey, let's work together and make something. Would you be like, oh, let me hear some stuff that you have, and then I can work off that? Or just kind of oh, we'll just wing it.
Well, it depends sometimes, because there do be some artists that I deal with to where my sound isn't their normal sound, mm-hmm. so therefore they're just letting me run with it. Yeah. But then there are some artists where I would have to say, all right, well, let me hear a couple of your tracks just to get a feel for you real quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. This is gonna be a double question. Since you already said Asko, what's your favorite track that you've done for Asko, and then what's your favorite track you've done for another artist?
Well, to be honest with you, I gotta say my favorite track is "Fuck It Up" that I did with Asko. There's a lot of energy on it. It's real crazy. And the way how the record came together was just very, I want to say organic, you know what I mean? Nothing was forced, you know what I mean? And it was also a situation where we had a studio full of people, and once he started saying the lyrics over the beat, everybody in the studio just started going crazy. Okay. And once I get that feeling, it just be like, you know what I mean? That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
All right, and then another artist that isn't Asko that you think you song was special.
I want to say these guys from the West Side. I don't really think they're a group, but the one guy's name is Jizzle and the other guy's name is Fresh. Okay. And they sound pretty good together on a record. And I actually produced, I want to say, a good couple tracks for them, and I like their vibe on it. I like their vibe.
All right. What artists do you think took you out of your comfort zone when it came to beats? I know you said some artists are outside of their own comfort zone working with them. Was there anybody that you worked with rap-wise just this wasn't what you thought it was going to be? Not good or bad, I'm just saying in general.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Just because in recent years I've seen this more, what's your view on production collabs? I see a lot of at least major music, and in Pittsburgh and some of the local stuff, a lot of we could say a track that has J-Pad and M. Tomlin producing on the track, it's a joint project. How do you feel about that type of stuff?
I mean, to be honest with you, I like that type of collab. I want to see more of it. Okay. To be honest with you, because us producers, we're different than the rappers. We could come together and do stuff like that, and that be that. We don't really have to get into beefs and all that. So I feel like producers need to come together more and collab more like that.
Right.
I don't really see it too much.
You're definitely right about the beefs have, because even when I've seen producers not agree, the only producer beef I've ever seen was the Jermaine Dupri against Timbaland and Dr. Dre.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
And that was, Jermaine Dupri kind of brought that on himself, so that's different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, outside of that, you're right. I don't see a lot of producer beats. Honestly, recently in hip-hop, I've seen a lot of producers getting together, especially with the whole Metro Boomin coming out of Atlantic a couple weeks ago. And there was other producers that were behind him saying, no, they'll try to suck you dry. And it seemed cool to see the producers speaking up. I like hearing that.
Right, right.
And I think y'all deserve a voice, man. I get disappointed when projects like your project doesn't get seen, or like, I know he was rapping on it, but a couple of years ago, Bangladesh had a project, and I feel like it didn't get the push because I think people just looked at Bangladesh as a rapper. I mean, as a producer.
Yeah.
And I like seeing producers drop their own projects like that, and then not be like, because to me, I know y'all made the beats. When a DJ Khaled album comes out and he goes to #1, I'm like, what did DJ Khaled do to make that go #1? At least I know when a producer drops a project, y'all made these beats.
Well, DJ Khaled is kind of what they call an arranger. Like he arranges the tracks. You know what I mean?
And I respect that. I mean, I respect his hustle. You making money, and I'm not making. I respect that. I've been telling people he needs to be a public speaker. He get that.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I love what y'all do when it comes to stuff like this. You know, give an ear. And again, you're right. Y'all people don't listen to y'all the way that y'all should be listened to. When honestly, y'all, a lot of the tracks, a lot of artists, to me, I listen to certain beats and I'm like, these are beats that artists really couldn't fuck up. And I'm like, that's a producer right there.
Right.
I used to give that term to a lot of Lex Luger beats back in the day. And I'm like, I don't care what you said. Like, a BMF was going to be hard no matter what. That's how I felt about those beats back then.
Yeah, I felt that same way. You can never go wrong with a Lex Luger joint, man.
Right? And it was like, I felt the same way, even though I feel like what you said about some producers making easy beats, like doing that. I felt the same way about Zaytoven for a while, even though I feel like a lot of Zaytoven beats were the same. That's just my personal opinion. I ain't putting that on anybody else here. But, no, like I said, there's a lot of things I've noticed where like I'm like, yo, you drop that song a cappella and you ain't going to hear. There are some rappers that can do a good Fab or Eminem or Wayne track that if you make it a cappella, it's still dope. But a lot of these rappers, especially in the mumble game, they need these producers to be on point. They need London on the track to be on point. They need Metro Boomin to kill it. Right. And I do respect the fact that most of the artists I've listened to you on, or if I've listened over your beats, it's a two-way street. The beat's dope, but the artist isn't being carried all the time. And I respect that.
I appreciate that.
But you deserve all the credit in the world, man. Like I said, between the blackout that you put the city on with the list itself, you're talented at what you do.
Thank you.
And that's why, like I said, you're the first producer, but I plan on getting many more producers in here. Producers need to get interviewed just like rappers.
Definitely. Oh, and another thing too, I don't know if y'all know, but I'm gonna be making one of those lists every year.
Okay. So there's a list. Is it gonna be like 2.0 or like 2?
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a certain date?
Well, last year I dropped that other one around I want to say early mid-December. So I'm gonna probably try to get it around the same time.
Okay. So it's
coming. And I'm gonna have another mixtape following that as well.
Okay.
So is this what's gonna be bigger?
Well, it may be bigger. It's possible. I'm trying to actually keep it the same in a way, but I do got some people who are willing to help me this time get it together. Because I reached out to a lot of people last time for help, and nobody even replied back to my inbox or whatever. And then once I put the poster out, everybody was hitting me back like, "Oh, bro, you ain't called me. Oh, bro, how come you ain't called me?" But I did.
Yeah. Again, we in the same thing. Like I said, we fully get it. Again, when we drop our top 10 list in the first week of January, we're gonna get the same issues. When you didn't review my mixtape, well, I'm like, bro, I asked for mixtapes for 6 months. I can't help you. Like I really can't help you. And again, this is a two-way street, man. If you got anybody that you think like anybody you produced and they got a mixtape that's gonna drop, we go with the week after Christmas and all of next year. We try to get people that drop their mixtapes like the last week of the last year a shot. Because we ain't reviewing your mixtape, you drop it on December 28th and putting it in our top 10 list.
I actually do got somebody. There's a guy by the name of Tony Pittsburgh. He's actually featured on the list mixtape as well. But me and my partner James Jr. We actually collabed on a mixtape for Tony Pittsburgh. It didn't drop yet, but I want to say we're looking for like maybe a early December release.
Okay. I know, and I don't know the name of the album off the top, but we reviewed the album. Was it CP3? CPX3?
X3, yeah.
Yeah, James Jr. had a.
He did that whole
Pirate
EP.
Gang. Yeah.
Shout out to Pirate
Gang. He did do the whole EP.
Yeah, you were one of it?
Okay, I remember seeing his name on it.
Yeah, shout out to James Jr.
So we reviewed that last week.
Last
week. We fucked with CPX3. Like, he's a homie. He fucked with us back when we was just a rap jury back over in Braddock. So I definitely had to give him his shout out.
Definitely.
And I thought with the whole Pirate game, their energy, their performance, like when you see them perform live, it's like just like they take over the stage. It don't matter if it's a small space or if they're in like the Coliseum, they take it over. I fuck with that. But yeah, that was definitely cool when you brought up James Jr. It's like I definitely just reviewed a project with his production on it, and he killed them. My issues with his album wasn't the production, so I was like, it never was an issue with James Jr. on that. Yeah. So like I said, it's definitely a trade-off. Like I said, if you got any projects that were done this year, we'll review them, and we'll definitely let you know who we think was dope. Like I said, if you want any feedback or anything, we definitely got you on, like, especially because we how far out are you willing to go? Because like we got artists in like Aliquippa and Keysport. We're reaching out to New Canada.
Our range is supposed to be like.
Our range is technically basically Western
Erie,
Morgantown.
Erie to Morgantown.
Okay, man, I'm willing to go that far.
Okay, but yeah, that's basically. And then I guess we do have a little bit of shout out to was it Akron? Yeah. Akron.
Okay.
But no, like for seriously, we go from like Erie to Morgantown because no matter what anybody says about WVU, most of the people that go to that school will come from Pittsburgh. So like I understand that we got to at least show them some love. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, anybody you need, we got you on that. Like I said, we're not. You email us or message us, we'll get back to you. I'm not here to be like, oh, you didn't put this nigga on the list. Like I feel exactly how you feel. Because every time I do these top 10 rap tracks, it's like, well, you didn't listen to his album. I didn't know he had out. I'm sorry you put your shit straight on iTunes. Because I'm like, I'm still looking at SoundCloud and Dat Piff. Like, people underestimate Dat Piff. But so is there anybody out of Pittsburgh that you would that you worked with that you think is up and coming that you think people should know about?
Actually, yeah, there's a guy by the name of Drama, and he's from, I want to say, Cleveland, but they actually relocated down to Atlanta right now.
Okay,
pretty dope. He kind of got that. He kind of got that like 2 Chainz sound, you know, where he talking about, you know, the fancy stuff and buying the Margiela shoes and all that shit. You know what I mean? I like his sound, okay. I think he kind of got it.
All right. So I always end up asking this to rappers, but I'm gonna answer it in a different way. What producers do you look up to, like when you was making this decision to get into this game?
Well, when I was making the decision, I was looking at the producers like Dr. Dre, Timberland, Polo the Dawn, and even like greats like Tim and Bob, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Of course, the great Quincy Jones.
All right, that's different. That's out there with like the whole mix and mastering and like executive producers. And
yes, Quincy Jones. Yes.
But I respect that more because like
I always usually like I just like Quincy Jones, like it's always one of those executive for everything.
Right. Right.
So you saying Quincy? I haven't peeped it myself, so I'm not gonna act like it. But what's your biggest R&B production you think you've done?
What's my biggest R&B production?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think R&B. Because I really don't come across too many R&B artists.
You don't?
Nope.
Are you open?
Actually, my man On Key. My man On Key. He's from Pittsburgh, but he's actually over in Hawaii right now because he's in the service. Okay. But he still does his music over there and everything. And whenever I produce something for him, you know, he emails it back to me and everything. Yeah. But yeah, my man On Key. He's definitely nice with the R&B. He got that. I mean, I hate to compare people, but he kind of got that early Chris Brown sound. You know what I mean? Like when Chris Brown first started.
Yeah. All right, I respect that. Are you open to working with more R&B artists?
Yes. Because personally, me, I do a lot of rap, but I feel like I'm a pop producer at heart. Okay. Like I'd rather do pop and R&B, but I don't really get too many artists that, you know, do pop music and R&B.
Oh no, I get it. Well, I've always had this thing with Pittsburgh artists where they don't. I have an issue with the Pittsburgh rappers because they don't seem to understand that sometimes you do need to make the pop or the lady track, and a lot of dudes are just like, we're gonna trap.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, you can find the middle ground. You can make a love song. You can make a song that's not like a dance song or a club song. It's not gonna kill your image.
Yes, that is one of the things that we struggle with these Pittsburgh artists is trying to get them to open up to those type of tracks.
Right.
I mean, because believe it or not, I mean, the trap rap, it get boring sometimes. Yes. It can get boring.
We get it.
It's like when you can sit there and do it in your sleep. It's just like, oh, well, there ain't no challenge, you know what I mean, or there ain't no creativity involved, like,
right?
You know.
I mean, because at this point, I mean, everybody's out here talking about how they whip the pot and like how they
how they
Rico. I'm like, all right,
everybody got Dracos. You know what I mean?
And I get it. And I'm like, that's why I'm like, I love talking to artists and producers that have something else they want to do. Like, I understand it's hard for you. Somebody gives you the cash and they turn your beat into a trap song. There ain't much you.
Right. And that happens a lot.
Because I believe me, I listen to a lot of tracks and I'm like, wow, that beat sounded like it could have been like a nice R&B track. This dude just went ham. And sometimes it's good. I'm not saying it's all bad. But no, like I get it. Like, especially when we listen to EPs or like short albums that are like 10 long and it's like, man, I just got 9 tracks of this dude talking about how he works in the kitchen. And I got 1 track about his block. And I'm just like, it's might have all been cool, but I ain't need 10 tracks of that.
Right.
All right. We got a background question from Malachi. So, mainstream artists that you would want to work with, R&B, rap, you know, anything in that spectrum, I guess, or anything actually, if you really want to go with that.
I would say I want to work with Nicki.
Nicki, okay.
Like, I love her pop sound. A lot of people don't, but I do. I love Nicki's pop sound.
Okay, so you would want to work on a pop song.
Yeah. It would be like a Nicki Justin Bieber track.
Okay.
Type, you know what I mean? As opposed to a Nicki Gucci Mane track.
Okay.
I definitely get it.
Yeah. That'd be dope, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now how about like if you were doing on the rap side, now if we were getting away from pop, what would you want? Like, all right, like I want somebody to like murder this beat, you know, like I don't.
As far as the rap, I want to say I want to work with. See, because you know, for starters, a lot of the new rappers, I kind of like just got into them, like the Black Youngsters and the 21 Savages and the Moneybagg Yo and all that. So I kind of, you know what I mean? But I'm still, I would say Meek Mill.
Meek Mill?
I would say Meek Mill. Meek is my dude, man.
Okay.
Meek is my dude. I always check for Meek, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a funny.
Oh, that is. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. Yeah, swear.
Is there any OGs in the game that you want to work with? Like
OGs, I say Jeezy.
Jeezy's
my dude, man. Jeezy's my dude. I always check for Jeezy whenever he used to drop his joints. You know what I mean? I say Jeezy would be the OG.
And I didn't even know this is a little. There ain't no chance, but is there anybody that's passed that you wish you could have worked with before they passed? Like a Big L, Pop, Biggie, somebody like that? Pun.
Really?
I mean, I would say Biggie, actually.
Biggie? Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to give him more options than just Pac and Biggie's. I feel like that was the
Yeah,
other thing.
people
always do that.
Pun. Yeah, those are important up there.
So, also, is there any major producer that you would like to collab with? We were talking about producer collabs. I know you said Dre and Timbaland. Is there anybody else out there that you would like to work with?
Well, major producer right now, I would want to collab with Mike Will.
Okay.
I do fuck with that. A lot of people. Mike Will's killing the game, man.
Mike Will's killing shit. He's killing shit.
I tell everybody, I was like, I was not that into Ray Shremmer. And then, like, after a minute, I'm just like, I'm into it. And I put Mike Will as part of it.
Yeah, definitely. And people also forget that Mike Will did an album with Miley Cyrus too.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean? So that he's But see, that was a rap track. But he actually did a couple I can't really say it, like you would consider her pop?
Yeah, I would consider
at this point.
Yeah.
She's not country no more. She left the country game.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if I can call it country or.
She cut the hair, she cut the country. That's what it was.
she never had the soul enough for me to call her R&B. I think the line for me in R&B is like Ariana Grande and like Justin Timberlake when I call her R&B.
Yeah, I would definitely put JT in there.
And then again, like to me, like I know she doesn't make the songs that sound like it, but like Ariana Grande has like the old Mariah Carey voice. She just does a lot more pop songs.
Oh yeah, I can't really say that I heard too much from her.
Like I said, after her and Big Sean broke up, she stopped making R&B rapper sounding tracks, which I don't blame her. I mean, you want to get away from what makes you feel bad.
Yeah.
But No, like I said, that's all cool. Like I said, I respect the fact that you like a lot of like some artists and producers are just happy with being in the lane that they're in. So the fact that you like to break out and work in the different lanes is cool. So we was talking earlier about the you was in the studio but you wasn't here. So I want to get your opinion on Wax. How do you feel about the Wendy Williams comments about Offset and Kelly Rowland?
Yeah. To be honest with you,
for y'all, this is
I kind of agree with it a little bit. I kind of agree with it a little bit.
On the fact that she shouldn't accepted the proposal, or did Offset?
Oh no! I thought you was asking me, do I think Offset is compared to Kelly Rowland?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I agree with that. I just think it's fucked up to use that as a reason to not get married.
Now that is, I totally disagree with that. Like Wendy Williams always got her nose in somebody else's business, man.
Always talking shit.
I mean, but that's how you get her money. So yeah. I guess she got to say something.
So would you pick Kelly over B?
No,
because like, again, I've come to terms of like I said, I picked B just because it was a point where like B was the goal,
right?
Like, but now if like going back and listening to stuff, like no, like if I listen to a Kelly album and I listen to a B album, I'll probably listen to more of the Kelly album while B's more of the pop album. I get that now,
right?
And again,
definitely
I like Quavo,
yeah.
But I don't think that Quavo is that great of a rapper. Again, I said it before, it's more of an atmosphere. He gives you, just like I said about Travis, I could get turned to these songs. It doesn't mean that I'm listening to every lyric bar for bar.
Right.
Where the more I listen to Offset, the more I do understand that he's out here actually trying to rap, like just strictly rap. He doesn't use that much autotune, which Quavo, there was a point where I had to stop listening to Quavo just because the autotune was killing me.
Yeah, he is auto-tuning. I like Quavo though. Quavo be killing shit, man.
Really the only one,
especially the hooks.
Oh yeah, especially the
hooks.
Mm-hmm. He definitely got the hooks. Even though we did listen to Motorsport before this segment, and I think Nicki killed it, and that's all I got for that track.
Yeah, Nicki killed it. She did. That was actually my first time hearing it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I've been hearing about it, but I never actually heard it. But yeah, Nicki killed that.
So major wise, who was the up and coming artists? You said you just started peeping some of the new guys. Who's the new guys that you're actually like excited that you heard recently?
I want to say Moneybagg Yo.
Moneybagg Yo, okay.
Moneybagg Yo, all right. He all right.
So I haven't heard him yet. Like, that was really the only one out of all the people you named before. That was the one I hadn't heard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's actually the artist that's coming up under Yo Gotti right now.
Okay.
Well, besides Black Youngster.
That might be why. Okay,
but yeah, Moneybagg Yo is the new one coming up under Gotti. Yeah.
Bro, no, I've been out of the Yo Gotti lane for a while. Just I've never been able to get into his music like that.
Honestly, me either.
Okay.
Me either.
New CD, man.
New CD? See, I listened to the joint with that had everybody on it.
27th is
Malachi's gonna find the name of the Yo Gotti. See, again, I respect this hustle. You know when I look at a Yo Gotti? I look at Yo Gotti as like the Cam of the South, because I never was into Cam's music, but I respected the hustle.
Wow.
I respected the hustle. I was always a Santana fan. Everybody knows that. I was a Santana fan.
Oh, okay. So you saying you still was a Dipset fan? You just wasn't a Cam fan.
I wasn't really a Cam.
Whoa.
And that's how I was like, that's how I was a Yo Gotti. It's like I've never been a Yo Gotti fan, but he's always been making money. He was always on Compensation since I first heard him. So like I gotta respect your hustle. Now, like I said, there's a certain line, like if you cross a little B line, then no, I don't gotta respect shit. Like there's a certain point where it's like, yeah, you can make money, but it doesn't mean that I think you're talented.
Right.
But no, like for as many people that I've heard like Yo Gotti, my issue with Yo Gotti is I can never get past it might be it's the Southern draw. His Southern draws is too strong for me. Whereas it's like, it don't sound like you say shit right.
Yeah.
It's called I Still Am.
I Still Am.
Follow up to 2013.
I Am. Okay.
And I think I heard the lead single that had was it Pablo? No, not Pablo. Yeah, it might have been Pablo. It had a track with like 2 Chainz and Kanye and everybody on it. No, Castro. It was Castro, and that was actually pretty dope. But again, that was a bunch of features, and that's one of them artists that if you don't got a couple features on it, I ain't really out here for it.
Yeah.
Like I remember 5 Star Chick like a couple years ago. I was down for the remix. When the remix dropped, I was all for that.
Me too.
But how do you feel about like a couple days ago you heard about the Little B getting jumped by Boogie's crew? How do you feel about his comments about New York rappers wanting to sound like everybody else? Not him saying that he's the most New York rapper out. Because I'll never let Lil B. I'd have stopped Lil B out too if I was from New York. I ain't gonna stop. That was disrespectful shit.
I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean, I feel like it's true. I mean, to be honest with you, actually, I want to say, I think Fat Joe actually said something about that years ago, about how, you know, the New York rappers is trying to sound Southern and all that. I feel like it's true, though. I mean, but in the same sense, I feel like, you know, they doing it because they feel that's the only way they're going to win.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, right now in the state that music is in, a lot of people saying, you know, New York fell off and they never came back. So I feel like, you know, what he said was true in a way. New York is trying to sound like everybody else.
Because like, what, you think like Jay-Z took it over and like pretty much, since Jay-Z's in New York, then everyone else doesn't mean anything? Kind of like that type of deal? Or, I mean, like, it's just kind of like, who else was New York? I mean, Nas, I mean, I still love
I can name artists that don't sound like the song. I just think it's the respect they're supposed to get.
Right.
Like Joey Badass. Action fucked up when he started beefing with Scarface. And I mean, not Scarface, Ghostface. As soon as Action started beefing with Ghostface Killer, it was over for him.
I ain't hear nothing about that.
He sounded just like.
But at first, Ghostface was cool.
Yeah.
And then Action said something. And
He was on the sports show.
Okay.
Like one of them, like shrug off, like
yeah, that was when I knew that fucked up. And
oh wait, y'all talking about Action Bronson?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I thought y'all meant Joey Badass. Was
no.
That's why I said I ain't hear about that.
No.
Okay,
I'm saying like Joey Badass, Action Bronson. I don't fuck with his music, but Troy Ave is like a strictly New York sounding dude. But I never really. Yeah.
I can't really say that I've heard like a whole album. I think I might have heard a song or two from Troy Ave.
And then I respect ASAP, but he has the Houston sound. So I do understand what you say.
Oh, they from New York, the ASAP crew?
Yeah, they from New York. Yeah, see, that's how much different they sound. They don't sound like they're from New York at all. Even though I do give Ferg his credit. Ferg kind of brought it back a little bit with his sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's what those people I don't like. Those are the artists where I think do sound like New York artists to a point. I give Ferg that credit. I don't give ASAP, even though I fuck with Rocky. But yeah, like I said, there are New York artists that I think sound like New York. And then there's the guard, like Fabulous, Jadakiss, some guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. I mean, hey, shout out to even though we still haven't got the album, Jadakiss and Fab dropped a song today featuring Future, so we might be getting close to that Jadakiss Fabulous album.
Oh, they did.
So I'm excited to hear about that.
Fab supposed to be on his way here, ain't he?
I hope so. Hey man, Fab to me is one of them dudes, and I wish the label figured it out, man, because he should have been killing the game for years.
Yeah.
He's all like that. You know,
I know. I feel like he was good enough to be mainstream. Like that was my thing. Is like he's killed this mixtape game for a minute, but I felt like he could have had the pop joints too.
Never had beef with no one to solidify his spot. That's just what I always feel with Fab. I feel every artist that is going to get someone to some extent to like, oh, okay. Like no one's ever taken that. There's always making decent songs, decent features. No one ever beat with them. It's just, I think if someone's good at it and you get that back and forth to you like, oh, dude's too good. Like he just killed so like he never had a rap beat. And I think rap beat.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, that actually is interesting. So these are gonna be my last two questions. I don't know if James got any more. I'll let him roll. How do you feel about auto-tune on your tracks? Like, how do you work that in to like build with your beats?
Like if it's over, like, I was about to ask the same thing. Like, is it like someone like has way too much auto-tune? Like, you know what? I don't know about that. Like, or you have it? Is that not what you're asking?
Oh, no, I'm just asking how do you feel about auto-tune in general? It's a general. I know it was a general question for me. It was like, how do you feel about auto-tune on your tracks? Like, is it something you would rather get away from, or you just?
Yeah, it's actually something I would rather get away from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever told somebody, like, what I'm asking is like, you're like, all right, that's a bit too much auto-tune, or like, have you ever like, you're like, maybe we could like work maybe like this way or something, or you just kind of just step back and just let it roll?
Yeah, I kind of just step back because one of the things, like a lot of artists that I deal with for some reason can't take criticism. So I do kind of just like step back a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, again, we all like the artists put out their, you know, their time and work and whatnot. And so are you know, and they feel like it's personal. So like if you say anything any type of constructive criticism or even any type of criticism, it's like, you're like, oh, well, you know, you don't know how I dealt with this and this and that, and, you know, I'll be doing that and this. So, I mean, like, I could see, like, people just be like just staying back and be like, all right, just do you. And
but again, I mean, your name's on it. So, like, at the end of the day, like, even though, like, the auto-tune isn't part of the beat for you, it's still, like, when people hear the song and they see your name on it, it still gets attached with your name. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. See, okay, I should say this. All right. My biggest thing with auto-tune is that people think that as soon as you slap the auto-tune on there, the vocals are just going to be straight official. Every note is going to hit on point. And little do they know, you have to actually at least try to sing the vocals before I put the auto-tune on it. And a lot of them can't sing, I should say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ron Bros effect.
So you're saying if you can't sing in person, like without the auto-tunes, you shouldn't really try. I mean, I'm not really asking. Well, if you hear someone that can't sing well, you won't feel that the auto-tune will make it better. Like, yeah, that's what I see a lot. Where like I don't think they would have been good singing in the first place, and then the auto-tune doesn't really help at all.
Right.
So also, you being a producer, you also know, like, every auto-tune ain't the same. Every downloaded auto-tune package is not the same. You gotta work with that. I tell everybody, like, the reason, like, because everybody yesterday was on the show and like people found out I was a T-Pain fan, and I was like, the reason I'm a T-Pain fan is he worked at it. He went in, he actually went and talked to the people that made the vocoder box before it was supposed to be for sonar equipment. They found out that you could use it for vocal stuff. And I'm like, if you don't do the research and you don't go in and like mess with the actual tunage of it, it's never gonna sound good.
Right.
Like, not every you might go download the autotune package for Quavo. You're not Quavo. You might download the autotune package for Kanye. You're not Kanye.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's just, you can't do that. Like, it sounds bad when you don't go in and make it your own. Mm-hmm. And also, I'll say myself, because I like autotune if it's done right. Mm-hmm. I'm probably over the autotune rap verses. Like, you might, if you want to do it on your hook, you could probably make it work on your hook. But niggas that do it verse for verse, it sounds weird at this point.
Yeah, trying to do like the Future type auto-tune.
Yeah, nah. Which everybody on the show knows I'm not a fan of Future that bigly. So like, trying to be like Future is never gonna help you with me.
Now it's still going on. Whenever you're doing the mix and mastering with someone's auto-tune, like, is that extra work? I would say.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because if I get an artist that, you know, is really, really set on having auto-tune, but it just ain't really on note, then we got to go in the vocals itself, which is we use a software called Cubase, and they got this plugin called Very Audio, and Very Audio pretty much pulls the vocal up, and you can pretty much draw the note to be the correct note that it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But it's time consuming. You know what I mean? You can't do that to every artist that come in the studio. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless they pay him. Yeah, that's what it's time consuming. You know, some artists come through, they buy an hour, and they try to get everything done within that hour. You know what I mean?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen like that.
All right, so.
I'm actually surprised auto-tune is still around, for real.
I'm not.
Because I thought it was going to die when, you know, Jay-Z said death of auto-tune and all that, because it died down a little bit.
I think it fanned it. I think it was dying before he said that.
Okay.
Same with the money thing. Once he did that, then it went back up. Like,
it did go back up. It did go back up.
Your parents tell you something, so you do it. You just about to quit it. Then you're like, you know what? One more month, fuck it.
So no, I thought it was basically over. And then, like you said, Jay-Z dropped that song. I was like, oh, he fucked it up.
It killed T-Pain.
Yeah, it killed T-Pain. No,
his auto-tune.
I think T-Pain killed himself when he went on the stage with Jay-Z when he was doing the song at the Summer Jam. That's what I think it was a rap. I was like, yeah, you kind of didn't need to do all that. But so, you know, the second half of the interview, because we're about to go to our break before we go to the food tasting. How you feel about getting into that? You saw the food we're going to be giving you today.
How I feel about what?
The food we're about to get into.
Oh,
That's basically everybody's answer. I'm not even mad. So we about to hit we about to hit a break. Before we hit the break, let them know how to get a hold of you and how to anybody that wants to work with you and all that.
Well, anybody that want to work with me, you can check me out on Facebook. Just look me up, Justin Wilkerson. They made me change it to my government. And I'm on Instagram at Mr. Make It Happen. There ain't no E at the end of happen. It's just HAPPN, all one word.
I think during the food tasting, we're gonna have to talk about this Facebook thing. All right, this is GM Worldwide Radio, Unfiltered. And again, for us, IG and Twitter for GMWW Radio. My IG is JSkyline99.
And James_Lane.
Again, Android app on the Google Play Store. Look it up. It's GM Worldwide Radio on there. GMWWRadio@gmail.com if you want this music. And again, we are giving it to you straight 100% of the time. We'll be right back with our food segment, yo.